Hey, what the hell's going on, you guys? This is Super Play Negative AE, and welcome back to Higurashi When They Cry. How have you guys been? What's been going on in your lives since we we did this last? Um, so this is the answer arc of the series. We play a Shion in this one, I believe, and we're gonna figure out some stuff. I'm hoping. I don't know. We're gonna see. Um, my theory, as of if I had to finalize my theory, I don't think my theory's changed very much from the very beginning. As much as it wavered, and it's been wavering a lot. I do think. I mean, there has to be demons. There just can't not be demons. You can't spend this much time and then not have demons be in your game. You can't spend 3 episodes like, are there demons or not, and then just not show demons, or come up with a really cool way to make it have look like, oh my goodness, you would have to come up with such a crazy thing to make it look like like there's demons, but there's not actually demons, and there has to be really good explanations for everything because they're gonna have to go to work if they're gonna convince me that there's no demons in this world. Are you kidding me? That's just kind of my thoughts after the question arc series. It's just there's a lot of stories that don't connect, and I'm curious to see if they connect actually, um, or if it's kind of like each one was a separate thing. But then that doesn't make too much sense as to why this is kind of a continuation. Unless maybe I don't know. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff I have questions on, and I'll ramble on forever if I try to go into it. But this series is supposed to give us answers and stuff. Now, I did try to get the voices before we jump into this. I know I'm already rambling for way too long. I did try to get the voices installed. The site that I originally was using for the previous three had been shut down. The GitHub one. When I went to the link that I usually use, it was just completely gone. So I needed to find a new way to get the voices. I think I checked just a little bit ago to see if the voices were in and kind of adjusted the audio levels. So we'll play for about 30 minutes today, and then we'll see what you guys think. Tell me how you guys think of the audio levels, or if we'll see, I guess, if there's voices, and if not, I'll fix that in the next episode. Let's get into this. So this is with Shion. Eye-opening chapter. Welcome to the world of Higurashi When They Cry Kai. We finally reached the halfway point. Jesus Christ, we're at the halfway point. From the viewpoint of the protagonist, try to find the truth behind the tragedy that unfolds. The difficulty is very high. Again, I have no idea why. I, the consensus is that it's difficult to read, but I don't know. It won't be easy to comprehend the motive of the perpetrator. All right, let's go. I'm ready. She dropped her beads in the sand, so the girl cried. For 100 years, the girl searched the sands. Jesus. They might be in the ocean, not the sand, so the girl cried. For 100 years, the girl searched the ocean. They might be in the mountains, not the ocean, the girl cried. How many years? Blah, blah, blah. This is a work of fiction. Any resemblance to actual persons or organizations? Okay, got it. 7 keys were attached to the keychain. Without knowing which key was the correct one, I had to go by instinct and try every key one by one. On average, I reached the correct key within about 3.5 attempts. It'd be fortunate if I could lock within the first. I could open the lock within the first 3 keys. And I'd be unfortunate if I didn't. I had to think of the worst case scenario, getting the right key only on the very last attempt. I fought with my nervousness. My head ached from it. I put the key in and turned it. I just needed to repeat that small procedural several more times, but couldn't stop shaking. Damn. And a 3-year-old kid can do something this easy. Am I more childish than a 3-year-old? Whatever. I don't care if I'm clumsy. I just need to try all these keys. Even in the worst case scenario, the lock will open on the 7th try. No way. Reality isn't always the same as math. What happened was worse than my worst case scenario. None of the keys worked at all. I could feel the blood draining from my brain. Get the wrong set of keys? No, I definitely see a faint marking that says this set is for this door. Just reading it wrong? Did I go back to the key cabinet to look for the right one? It would mean a great loss of time. Just by being here, I'm already risking so much. Something that could ruin everything might happen any moment. If I can't open this lock, do I have to go back to the administration office? If there were no other choice, it'd be a waste of time to spend another second here. The administration office wouldn't necessarily be empty at this time. Somebody might come in. I won't be able to look for the right key if that happens. I stood up quickly, as if electrified. I was almost in a panic, so felt the urge to move. My instinct pushed me. I had to go back there as quickly as possible. It's dangerous to be here, and it's also dangerous if somebody comes into the administration office. I cooled my head, making it as chilly as possible, to repress my fear. Calm down, Shion. Here we fucking go! Calm down, Shion. What the hell? Mion wouldn't panic in this situation. Maybe I'm just mistaken. Why don't I try the keys one more time? Next moment, I felt a faint vibration in the air. Jesus Christ! How do you feel vibrations in the air? Somebody was walking from somewhere in the hallway. If it were a normal situation, I would have known I wouldn't run into them, since footsteps were very far away. But at the time, I couldn't think calmly. Shit. Why am I panicking this much just because of footsteps? Calm down, calm down. I should be feeling excited instead. Calm down, calm down. I just need to do what I have to do. I should ignore the footsteps because they're not an immediate threat. Pretend they aren't there. Listen for something much more important right now. Shit. Key should be hard and cold, but... What is that word? It's pliable? Like, is that malleable? Is that the equivalent to that word? And hot. It feels like rubber. Okay. How could I stick this into the keyhole? Shit. It wasn't the key that was pliable. It was my fingers that were limp. Okay. So limp. Ah, shit. The key sprung out of my hand and fell to the floor. Shouldn't have made any sound, because it was so pliable, but made a tremendous metal noise, as if somebody had pushed over a cupboard. Cling. I'm guessing it's a lot louder than that. The sound almost stopped my heart. I felt dizzy for a while. I looked around afterwards, carefully, to see if I caused any disturbance to the surroundings. Calm down. Nothing's changed. Oh no, that's not good. No, you're not. No, nothing's changed. I don't hear anything, so am I safe? There's no footsteps. That's the problem. Yeah, you did. Goodbye. Lates, you messed up, Shion. Are they looking for me after they notice the sound? Ah, shit. That sound I'm hearing. Is it my sweat dripping on the floor? Shut up. How could I hear the sound of my sweat? Calm down. Calm the fuck down. Now that's what I would say to myself. I have to clarify. This isn't a prison or a detention center. Private school. Not a normal one, though. Costs a fortune just to get in. It's a boarding school that provides education from elementary to university. Being for girls only rather than a school, you could say that it's a factory that manufactures ladies, quotes. Some of my classmates here have never even used public transportation. It isn't normal. Me saying, "How nice to see you," instead of just "hi" is already insane. And calling the teachers sisters gives me the creeps. Hate the morning and evening prayers, to say nothing of the Sunday Mass. Don't want to memorize the Bible passages, and Holy Ghost gives me a rash. I stayed in this institution. That's what I call the place. For many years, I'd either go okay, that was weird. I'd either go crazy or be brainwashed. Most of the girls choose to be brainwashed, but I can't do that. After all, I was more impressed by the political schemes and international trade behind religious propagation, rather than by the love of God which the Bible teaches. Because of that, I've been treated as a problematic child from the beginning. I experienced lots of disadvantages as a result. I realized that quickly, so I superficially pretended to be normal. However, I got tired of acting, so I started to reveal my true self from time to time. I became a problematic child once again. People started to treat me differently once again. It's fun to misbehave, but it wouldn't do anything for me in the long run. So why did I act that way? Why, even though I knew it was going to backfire on me later on? After examining my emotions, I'd realized that I'd completely had it with my surroundings. I was afraid of being brainwashed in this institution. I can't live here. They won't let them brainwash me. 6 months ago, I decided to escape this place. The moment I made up my mind, I started to feel alive again. I acted ladylike in order to deceive the sisters. Pretending became fun once I'd set my goal. It gave me the creeps when they told me with smiles that it was God's influence I started to behave religiously. I laughed at them behind their backs. I took on my classmates' duties in order to understand the layout of the school and the schedules of the staff and guards. Soon found out that the security of the school was immensely tight because there were many daughters of important people living there. The guards walked to their beat randomly. There were surveillance cameras everywhere. The system that kept out intruders ironically also worked to prevent escapees. That excited me instead. I simulated how to avoid all surveillance in my head many times. I drew an escape route in the corner of my notes during class and tested if it worked. I strove to acquire any necessary skills for the escape. It was all fun. After all, the situation was cathartic for me. That's who I am. No matter how hard they tried to brainwash me, I'd never change. I'd been waiting for the moment of my escape, preparing physically and mentally. First, I needed the courage to escape. I had to be confident in the plan. I had to think deeply about it. I also needed skills and physical strength. I imagined all the possible obstacles and trained myself. It's funny because I was finally able to enjoy gym classes, even the long distance runs. I needed a perfect plan, as well as the physical strength and skills necessary to execute it. Also supported by those things, I needed determination. I had made sure that I had all I needed and executed the plan. I decided to plant a seed in school before the appointed day. The seed was a rumor that one of the male teachers was having a relationship with a student. I won't go into the details now, but that can turn into an enormous problem at the school. School is limited to girls precisely because their parents want to avoid those kinds of problems. Those parents are mostly important people from various positions. If romance was a fact and was leaked to the public, the principal would have to commit suicide in shame. In fact, even that might not be enough. In the world of girls, rumors spread fast, especially when they're separated from boys and are obsessed with dirty thoughts. So this kind of rumor goes around really quickly. The sisters try to get rid of that kind of rumor, and they warn the students not to be swayed by it. But apparently, they're the ones who are most swayed by the rumors. This means I managed to make them furtively furtively deal with something shady without contacting families or authorities. So if I disappeared in these circumstances, it'd look like I ran away with some teacher. All the male teachers would deny it, of course. However, the school wouldn't believe what they said so easily. After all, there's a dirty rumor going around. By the time the school finds out about my escape, after they eliminate all the other possibilities, I'll be somewhere safe. Tried hard to spread the rumor that I was involved in the forbidden romance as widely as possible. The sisters questioned me a few times, but since the romance was something I'd made up, they couldn't find anything. No matter how hard they tried, they couldn't find any evidence. After 3 months, I was certain I'd created a solid foundation. I swapped after-dinner duties with my classmates so that I could adjust my schedule on this day. I was even able to fill them with suspicion about me by doing that. Now they'll definitely suspect that I ran away with some male teacher. Tonight was the night. I began my chores after dinner. After lights out, somebody will find out about my disappearance. My generous roommate would probably wait about 10 minutes before she reported me to his sister, but no longer than that. I had about an hour tops, but that's enough for me. I took a step off my regular route. That was the first step towards my great escape. I calmed down and thought, the key shouldn't be wrong. This lock is old and firm. Isn't it possible I just put the right one in, but the lock was just stiff, so I got the wrong one? I realized that my nervousness was making me clumsy. The gloves that I'm wearing to avoid leaving fingerprints must be getting in the way, too. I should try the keys one more time. I picked the most probable one and gently inserted it into the keyhole. It's stiff. If I twisted too strongly, I might break the key. The moment I thought of giving up, I felt something in my fingertips. The key worked. I slowly opened the door. I could hear the crickets. I don't have to hesitate now, but somehow I'm reluctant to step outside. I can still make excuses up to this point. It might look awkward, but I still can. If I take a step outside now, there can be no excuse. If the guards find me, they'll take me to the office immediately. There have been escape attempts before. It's not really so strange. I don't think I'm the only heathen here. It's understandable that there have been people below who couldn't fit in this place. The school is well aware of the possibility of escapees. I've heard rumors about what happened to those who were caught while attempting to escape. I don't want to believe any of those stories, though. See, all the school's horror stories involve students who attempted escapes. Whatever. Bring it on. I'm not expecting to get a second chance anyway. There'll always be only one chance. Things get serious beyond this door. I psyched myself up and pushed the door open. The strong smell was hanging. Jesus. Damn. This music is kicking off hard. This is the most heavy track I think we've seen in this game. Damn, I'd like listen to this. Okay. A strong smell was like hanging in the air. Is that normal for the outside? I like this song. Reminds me of Naruto almost. Like the old days of me being a little, well, not little, but littler, watching Naruto. When like things would kick off. I never smelled this strong grassy smell before. Something going on? Do I have to be wary of it? Should I go back and wait for another chance? That's silly. There's nothing strange going on. This smell is something I smell every day. I just wasn't aware of it. It's true, isn't it? Even though I pretend to be cool, I'm nothing but a nervous wreck. Calm down. Calm down, Shion. I can only rely on the map inside my head from this point onward. I'd researched the locations of all the surveillance cameras. I'm confident that I'll be able to avoid all of them, but I'm not sure about the guards. They pick their patrol routes randomly after all. I have to take a chance. I can hide myself in most places, but there's an area where there's nowhere to hide for several meters. I concentrated to keep my senses keen. Well, I'll have to depend on my luck in the end. Even if I do my best, the guard might find me by mere chance. On the contrary, I might be able to get away no matter how unwisely I choose to move if I'm lucky. Damn. After all that effort, it just boils down to luck. This is a gamble after all. When I realized that, I got excited. Yeah, this is a gamble. I'm trying my luck. This is a game to test the determination to change my life. If somebody failed to escape from this school, that meant that they didn't have enough luck to survive in the real world. But I'm different. I'm going to get out of here. I'm testing my luck. Here goes, Shion. I ignored the noisy bugs and concentrated only on suspicious sounds. I heard no threats. The loudest sound wasn't the bugs, it was my own heartbeat. Crunch. Even my own footsteps were so loud they could break my eardrums. With each and every step, my overactive imagination tormented me with premonitions of unexpected run-ins with guards. Countless times that torture grew too hard to bear, and I thought of running. But if I broke into a run, the noise I made would only draw suspicion. If anyone heard running at a time and place where people shouldn't be, they would realize something abnormal was happening. But if the footsteps they heard were just walking, they'd likely think nothing of it. Of course, I don't even plan on letting them hear those footsteps. I tried to extend my senses to get as much information as possible. I didn't sense anyone's presence. I might have felt safer if I heard a guard in the distance. I'm worried that my senses might not be keen enough to detect everything. Somebody might be right behind me without me being aware of it. I didn't want to make any noise, so I stopped from time to time. It's like I'm constantly fidgeting. Stop or to run. Something within me urged to choose from either one. Can't choose to stop. I have to keep going quickly and stealthily. I'm already risking so much just by being here. Running, of course, would be absurd. I know that. The urge to run continued to bug me. My head was filled with those thoughts as I went through this ranger's territory. I succeeded in passing through without running into anybody. I couldn't help but sit for a moment and exhale the rotten air from my lungs. My negative thoughts vanished quickly. Just a little more to go. Just a little more. Just through that bush over there is a fence that separates this place and the outside world. Once again, I strongly felt the urge to run. I suppressed that desire and carefully tackled the final step. Beautiful looking fence didn't seem designed to prevent escapes. While I was worried that somebody might see me climbing the fence, fortunately, it didn't happen. It's even possible that this fence might have a touch sensor. It's too late now. It doesn't mean anything now since I'm already climbing up. On the top, the fence seemed about 7 feet high. I have to go down carefully, just like when I climbed up. I knew that logically, but I couldn't think that way anymore. I chose to jump off with no hesitation. Jesus fuck. That scared the fuck out of me. I regretted my decision during the fall. I got scared because the fight was longer than I expected. Jesus fuck. I didn't land beautifully. I fell out on my butt. But there was nobody around to laugh, and I didn't have any time to be embarrassed. I looked around to see if anybody heard my landing. Even the crickets weren't interested in the sound I made. I felt relieved. I looked at my watch. 5 minutes till 8 p.m. It was just a 15-minute escape. Putting a number to it really made it obvious how short it had been. Looking back, most of the time, I was just asking myself questions and hesitating. I guess I worried too much. But I can't be too relaxed just yet. There's no guarantee I fooled all the cameras. This place isn't a bank. There won't be a fire alarm going off even if the guards did see me. It's possible they're rushing this way right now. I can't enjoy the air of freedom yet. I hid myself in the darkness and waited. Still time left until the rendezvous. The rendezvous? Excuse me? Oh, damn. That text is all Japanified. It's 20, it's 25. Okay. We're gonna continue and do a cliffhanger, I guess. I watched the school premises while waiting, but it looked like nothing strange was going on. And who are we rendezvousing with? The building was lit up, and the beautiful Western-style architecture made it hard to believe that it was a school. It should be armed with electrifying wires, searchlights, and guard dogs like the prison it is. I thought I'd experienced the surge of school memories in a situation like that, but it didn't happen. That sort of thing only happens when you have good memories. I have no good memories of the school, so there's nothing to remember. But if I could pick a series of images to recall, it'd be the luxurious dinners we had every night. So my memories would be nothing but international cuisine. Japanese, Chinese, French, and so on. What the hell? That's just too funny. I burst. Oh no! Why are you bursting into laughter? What the crap? Who bursts into laughter while you're in the middle of an escape attempt? At that point, I heard a car approaching. Whoa. I crouched in the darkness. The plate number is the same as I was expecting. It's the car. I jumped out and slid into the passenger side, rushed to the passenger side, then opened the door and got in. The driver was a man of early old age. He'd be angry if he heard me say that, though. He thinks he's still middle-aged. He looked at my face and learned that I had succeeded. He smiled. He has a character model with skulls. Is that the father, maybe?
シャバの空気は久しぶり。とにかく今は銀シャリが
学園では上品なお料理ばかり。シオンさんにだけは麦飯が出ていたんですか？
バカ、冗談に決まってるじゃない。ほら、笑ってる暇があったらとっととアクセルを吹かす。
はいはい、仰せのままに。
I'm glad that the voices worked. That makes me happy. Kasai really did laugh out loud after telling me to buckle up. His name is Kasai, and he has a character model. I guess the teacher had a character model too, and she didn't really do too much. So it could be one of those situations, although I don't know. This is the answer arc, so I feel like... I don't know. The cathedral-like school disappeared from the mirror in an instant. It disappeared so quick that I didn't have time for a surge of dinner memories. Goodbye, my lovely school days. I'm gonna fill my stomach with junk food from now on. I'll forever be free from the table manners you taught me. The question is, why was she there? Who's this guy that she was able to escape with? And how did they get in contact? And like, what's going on? As we drove, the scenery began to change. Soon we were surrounded by vast fields of crops and few streetlights. It reminded me that this was just the countryside of Japan, not Europe. I lied. I'm actually a bit hungry. I didn't eat much at dinner to avoid slowing myself down with a full stomach. I appreciated Kasai's offer, but I didn't feel like taking the time to eat while we were still in enemy territory. I don't know if that's necessarily gross. I think that's pretty cool. I mean, if not very cheap sounding, it sounds like it would be...
もう子供じゃないでしょう。
嫌なもんは嫌なの。うっさいな。もう何笑ってんの？
Who the fuck is Kasai? He seems like a nice dude. He isn't usually so talkative.
少し寝させてもらい。これリクライニングど。
そっちの左側の根元、レバーみたいに。
よっこらしょっと。何か面白いことを。
いえいえ、よっこらしょなんていう若くない言葉遣いがどことなくミオンさんに似ておられたもので。
Well, obviously. Mion and I are identical twins. We're perfect copies of each other. When I react to something, so will Mion. When Mion reacts to something, I, in a certain way, or a certain situation, I'll react the same way.
お姉は元気？
多分元気か。私も親族会議の席に親父さんをお連れする。
そっか。お姉はもう実家じゃないんだったね。南沢のばあさんのとこだっけ？
She's living with the hag in Hinamizawa now, isn't she?
シオンさんが学園に入られるのと一緒の時期に園崎本家に移られました。
I responded with disinterest even though I was the one to ask about her in the first place. The main house is where Oryu, the current leader of the Sonozaki family, lives. That's my grandma, who I call a hag. But when we use the phrase the main house, that usually means more than just a dwelling. What Kasai refers to is the same thing.
少しは変わった？
ミオンさんがですか。
そう。あのばあさんと朝から晩まで顔を合わせてりゃ少しは変わるでしょ。
He knows I hate my grandma.
私が見る限りシオンさんの知っている。
私はどう？私は変わった？
いいえ、全然。
Kasai responded quickly with a smirk. I haven't seen him for a while, though. It's not fun if he answers this quickly. I glared at him, and then he burst out laughing.
全然変わっておられません。あれだけのお嬢様学校に入られたの。
チェー、好きなだけ笑ってろ。私は寝るよ。寝る。
後ろの席に毛布があります。使ってください。
ありがとう。
I'm exhausted, but I can't go to sleep. It's strange. Or maybe not. I must be tired from the escape. It's just that I'm still feeling tense. So I have to declare it once again, if only to calm myself.
寝る。私は寝るよ。
はいはい。さっきからもう3。それとも私が許可しないと寝れない。
今日のあんたがあんたが少し黙っててくんないと。
失礼しました、姫君。ではしばらく黙らせてもらいます。
This interaction with Kasai reminded me of the peaceful days in Okinomiya. Well, I don't really know if I can call those days peaceful. We were in the middle of the dam protests back then, after all. We all united together, and now that I think about it, we pulled a lot of pretty dangerous stunts. If the authorities ever find out what I did, I'd never escape going to juvie. Well, at least half of the people in Hiramizawa would be off to prison. We didn't think of them as criminal acts, though. It was a war. It might have also been a festival. A festival where every person in Hinamizawa joined together in protest. It was a struggle, but it was also fun. It was fun to throw stones at the SWAT team with everybody. We hid ourselves in somebody's home when they chased after us. We'd even go crowd around the police station demanding the release of our arrested comrades. When we snuck into the construction site and sabotaged it, it felt more like we were playing at war than conducting one. I got so excited back then. I felt united with my fellow members even though they were strangers to me, and that memory warms my heart. Yes, the way it felt back then was like helping everyone to carry a sacred, what the fuck? A sacred palanquin. Oh, I've heard that word before. Through the village and getting all sweaty and exhausted together. That sounds very familiar. Palanquin. It's on the top of my head. Okay. Until we all collapsed face first on the ground and shared our excitement and cheers with unfamiliar faces over tea. I was just a kid back then. I remember accompanying young men who worked for my dad out to the village to do various bad things. I was arrested a few times. I didn't feel any different, though, than when I was called to my teacher's office for forgetting my homework. The other villagers were furious about the dam project, but for those of us who were kids at the time, it was a pretty fun memory. All that came to a sudden end a few years ago. It wasn't only the power of the protest that ended the dam construction project. Sonozaki family and my dad's organization had worked secretly in the shadows. This is top secret information in the Sonozaki family, but... it said they may or may not have kidnapped the Minister of Construction's grandson in order to blackmail him. The grandson was found a few days after the abduction. He was found in the mountains of Yagoichi? Yagoichi. Although he didn't simply disappear, and he wasn't deemed away. That means some kind of deal was made secretly. A year after that, the dam construction plan was halted indefinitely. The police suspected the villagers' involvement and investigated, but they couldn't find any leads. The villagers never betrayed each other. They'd do anything to protect their fellow man. They fabricated fake alibis and fake evidence. It was easy to deceive the police. Ugh. The car suddenly shook, snapping me out of it. I must have run over a bump or something. I suddenly realized my expression was a very happy one for some reason. I must be looking forward to going home.
Shion-san, 起きてますか?
何?
お帰りですが、沖宮でよろしいで。
他にどこに帰んのよ。
I answered straightforwardly with a frown. Kasai then also chose to reply straightforwardly.
シオンさんを全寮制の学園に入学させる決定は、シオンさんはそのどういうことかお分かり。
ばあさんの決めた学校が私に合わなかったってだけでしょ。
Okay.
シオンさん。
Okay.
待ってるさいな。
I understand. As the head of the Sonozaki, the Hag's decisions are absolute. They're nothing like, say, the 3-second rule. Worse, the decision to confine me to an academy far away from the Sonozaki family was made before I was even born. Shion was the name they gave me. My sister Mion had a character that means demon in her name. It was to signify that she's the successor of demons. In other words, she would be the successor to the Sonozaki family and its demonic bloodline. My name, Shion, has a character that means temple in it. That means I was destined to take the veil and be confined in a temple. Thinking of that reminds me how much I hate this name of mine. For starters, the person known as Shion is an abominable being to the Sonozaki family. Abominable. Oh. It meant that the family had 2 heirs. I don't have to cite the countless historical examples to explain. It's easy to imagine how that might prove troublesome for succession. According to our long-held family traditions, one of the twins was to be strangled to death right after birth. Unbelievable, isn't it? What that means... What the fuck was that voice line? What that means is that I have to be grateful and just believe... just to be alive and breathing to this day. I heard the hag actually put her hands around my neck right after I was born. I don't know what exchange took place in that moment. Maybe some brave relative of mine managed to get her to stop. Or maybe she was in an extremely good mood that day. Then don't try to strangle me. We're twins. There's no apparent differences between us. But the first one out of my mom's stomach was named Mion, and the second one drew the short straw and got named Shion. Everyone else was desperate to tell us apart, but we sisters found that just awfully ridiculous. There wasn't any difference between us. No one could tell us apart, even if we only swapped hats. We wondered why all the grown-ups were trying to see the differences. Well, our fun as twins didn't last forever. One day they created an undeniable, clear distinction between Mion and Shion. Mion went to the main Sonozaki house to live with the hag and learn how to become the successor. And I was confined at St. Lucius. I have no objections to Sis's inheritance. I used to be jealous, but now I feel that having to learn about and follow traditions would just make me tired. I even feel sorry for Mion. I'm not going to be a threat to the family even if I'm back in Okinomiya. But the hag doesn't seem to think that way. She thinks of me as some kind of evil omen. That's why she wanted to keep me away from her. That doesn't matter to me. I don't want to see her face either. I don't care if she doesn't allow me to enter Hinamizawa. She can charge me 10,000 yen per step I take there. But I want her to let me live in Okinomiya where I grew up. When I was little, I was in Hinamizawa, but I don't remember it too much. I'm not very attached to it. I do have good memories of my elementary school days in Okinomiya. The town isn't very sophisticated, but I kind of like it there.
沖宮の町へ帰れば親族のやがては必ず本家
ばあさんの耳に入ったらどうなまあそりゃあやばいことにはなるかもね。
お分かりならいいんですがね。
なーにカサ、あんた今から私に引き返して
まさかそんなことは。私が言いたいのは
相応の覚悟はあるんだろうね。
口先だけでなく
そうだろうね。万が一の時は脱走の手伝いを。葛西も小指に未練があるなら今のうちに小指にいっぱい来そう
その時はシオンさんもすまきにされて鬼が淵沼に放り込まれるくらいの覚悟をしてくださいよ。ああ、あるいは本家離れの秘密部屋送りかも。
I heard there's a big torture room in the main Sonozaki house. I've never seen it though. I heard they used it to torture and kill the enemies of the village in there. It's just awful, really. I hope I don't end up as a victim of that place.
はいはい
Okay.
なんとかなる。
つくづくシオンさんはその出たとこ勝負的な。
そりゃ似るでしょう。
That's normal, she's my mom. My dad and my mom will be furious if they find out about my escape. I'm more afraid of them than the hag. I don't want to go into details, but my dad is part of the Yakuza. He's in charge of the organization which covers the Shishibone area. He's in a very important position. So is Kasai here. He's an old friend of Dad who really trusts him. I don't know if this is true, but I heard Kasai used to be very aggressive, though he's gentle now. I also heard has tons of scars. He was in charge of a few large areas, but after he was injured badly in a fight, he retired. Now he's my dad's consultant, or aka drinking buddy. He was my caretaker in my childhood, and now I feel like he's my butler. At first, I thought my dad asked him to supervise me, so I hated him. But in time, I started to feel like he was on my side. This is just a hunch, but I think Kasai used to be in love with my mom. My dad, my mom, and Kasai were on a love triangle. Though my dad took the lead in the end. Kasai couldn't leave my mom entirely, so he stayed around as my dad's friend. I can tell that from the way that he acts. He's seeing my mom and me. That's why he says I look like my mom every now and then. It kind of gave me the creeps at first, but he isn't a bad guy at all. He's actually pretty funny. I only found that out after I got used to him. So when I thought about escaping, I naturally turned to him. I contacted him in an early stage of my plan and arranged to meet him today. That answers my question. You could call him a conspirator. It's not surprising he's worried about my return to Okinomiya. Considering the rules and traditions, cutting off his pinky finger isn't too far from reality. I might be rolled up in a futon mat and thrown into the swamp for real too. Even so, there's only one place for me to return. I'm going to Okinomiya and nowhere else. That's my hometown. This might be a kind of homesickness, but I don't care what it looks like.
実際どうする？園崎一族の目は。
まあ最初はの仮に姿を見られたってミオン
それから
でほとぼりが冷めてきたら私に近しい親類から徐々に打ち明けていく。私に味方になってくれる人たちだってそこそこにいるからね。私も親父と大喧嘩した時あちこちでいろんな人にかくまってもらったし。
なるほど。味方と既成事実を十分に作り上げてから最終的にはうまくいきますかどうか。
行くってそもそも私を学園送りにする決定だって結構。あれは私をやたらと嫌ったばあさんの葛西もそう思うでしょ。
ええ、私もあの決定にはさすがにやりすぎとは思いました。
ばあさんはあれこれ余計なこと考えすぎて正常な思考なんかできなくなってんのあのダム戦争で神経張り詰めっぱなしだったからまだその時の興奮が抜けきってないんじゃないかな。ったく。
Kasai smiled. I couldn't go sleep after all, though I was rolled up in a blanket. Even though I told Kasai to shut up, I kept talking to him. In time, I got tired of talking. As I could feel the cars run smoothly on the highway, Kasai spoke to me again.
シオンさん、ほら。
I was so tired that I ignored him. I wondered what he wanted me to look at, but I wasn't that interested. Yet I opened my eyes slightly and saw a sign quickly pass by. Kasai probably wanted me to see that sign. It had an illustration of azaleas around the letters that said, "Welcome to Shishibone City. My hometown is coming right up." What's this? This is a freaking intro? With like a song? I wish I could turn up mid thing. Keiichi, Rena, Mion, Satoko, Rika, all of them are in it. Good. It'll be interesting. Satoshi, okay. Idiot. Is it just giving me all the people that... All right, that's it. The notebook's beginning. Goodbye, sister. I got an achievement. Okay, I like this song a lot. The music is kicking off this time around. The menu looked good this time around. You guys see that main menu? Oh. And then the songs are kicking off. It's some good shit. The song makes me emotional. It's gonna be an interesting ride. We're gonna see kind of what goes on, I guess. It kind of just verified why. I mean, we knew this. We knew all the information that was presented, I believe. The only thing we didn't know was what Kasai was and why Shion was living in a different place. I guess it kind of cleared up different things, which is the point, I guess. So we knew that Shion and Mion were obviously not exactly liked the same. Mion was always the better sister, and all we knew is that that Mion lived at the main house and Shion didn't, and we didn't know why, and now we know why, and that's kind of what this served. We're there. We're at the beginning. She escaped, so that was that was interesting. I wasn't expecting her to be at a Bible school or like a private thing, but you know, it's whatever. God, I want to talk so much about stuff, but I know if I do, I'll just ramble on. And I was supposed to end this at like 30 minutes, but you know, here we are at fucking almost 50 minutes. 50 minutes right now. And I'm still talking. I need to like get the song and like play it louder, because right now I have it quiet for the YouTubes. Should I increase the background music? Is it like too quiet, or is it good? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. What do you guys think? What do you guys think of the audio levels? If I can make it louder, I will. I don't know. The music this time around gets my attention, and I'm looking at the audio levels, and it's just not too high, you know. And I could make that higher. Anyway, I gotta go. We're starting, guys. We got it. Oh, I'm ready. I'm so ready. Let's get some answers. I'll see you guys in the next episode, whenever that may be. Peace out, you guys.